I'm interested in mechanical engineering, and that's historically one of the most male-dominated fields. And at first I didn't think it would be a problem, but I started noticing more and more that I would have to work much harder than my counterparts to be recognized as a valuable contributor to the group or to a class.
I definitely went through different experiences all the way from as an undergraduate to now, where I'm in environments where I wish that there were more women, at the table. I think one of the things that was most intimidating for me, being one of the few women, was feeling that I was sort of representing my gender, that if I raised my hand in class and I answered the question wrong, I think I internalized the idea that I was representing all of womankind. And that's a lot of pressure for one person to place on themselves. And that can really cause you to be a wallflower and not want to get out there and be aggressive and sort of do the things that you need to do in order to be noticed and get recognition for all of your great work. More than anything, I think it's underscored my desire to try to recruit more women into engineering. And it's tough for exactly the reasons that you stated, for people to join when it doesn't seem like it's a club that they should be a member of. But the only way to make it a wider club is to get more people involved. So it's really made me want to work on recruiting and encouraging more women in engineering.
Have you ever felt experiences in which you were you felt not as competent as your classmates or your peers, and how did you deal with that moment of failure or feeling that you're just not good enough?
I've definitely experienced what you might have heard of as the impostor syndrome. The impostor syndrome being this idea that you feel like maybe what you've achieved, getting into a good school or getting a great job, is not because of your own merit, but either luck or just because you worked really hard. You're not really as smart as other people, but somehow, you pulled the wool over their eyes, and that's how you got there. And this is something that I have definitely suffered from, and I still do, even as a faculty member. It's definitely gotten less and less over the years, but it's always still there in some form, no matter what other people say to me or what my resume looks like. There's still always this inkling, in the back of my head that just comes up at my most vulnerable moments, or when something goes wrong, like I get a bad teaching evaluation or a research grant that doesn't get accepted. That's when this imposter syndrome, rears its ugly head. And in terms of getting over that, if anything, it was experience, having really great mentors who reaffirmed that I was totally belonging where I was. And again, it's having a community of people, my colleagues, my friends outside of work, who are encouraging and supportive, that really helps me get through some of those tougher moments.
Has there been any times in which after a failure, or if something didn't go your way, you felt that some doors were closed because of it?
I guess I know that no door is really closed forever. I think that there are always chances to go back. And if I wanted to go and do those little things now so that I could do something that was maybe more important, I could go back and do it. And so it's just sort of about learning how it works.
Would you have any advice to give to people who are hesitant to reach out into different fields?
I think the biggest advice is that the things that I've enjoyed the most is when I've done something really hard that I haven't been good at initially, was the joy of getting better at something, like the joy of actually learning and catching some new idea, new skill, whatever it is. I find that is so satisfying and enjoyable that it kind of makes me want to be a lifelong learner. And that's part of the reason I'm in academia now and I do research and interact with new people every time I teach a class, is because they're always pushing me to learn new things. And if you always take the safe route, you're not learning, you're not becoming as full of a person you can be. And so even if there's the chance that you might fail at something, it seems so worth the risk because of the opportunity for growth.